where we belong, in the big car, in the van. I got it back today, and I'm very, very grateful indeed. It's running like a dream, as if nothing was ever wrong in the first place, and it's really good. I got a big list of things which could potentially have been, yeah, well, we know what the issue was. But there's another thing that could have caused the issue in the first place. You got a big pipe and this bit was blocked, and it might have been backing up this bit, so this bit has to come out, this bit has to go. Oh, bloody hell. It's, yeah, we're back to normal, rocking and rolling. I'll tell you what, if I didn't have the spare car this past week or two, I would have been more fucked than, yes, somebody I could care to mention, and I won't because of legal things, but yes, you are with me. It's great. The only problem I had was I was met with a rather large bill of something like £690. I was told it would be very expensive. I was told it would be in the region of about 600 and something, but there you go. The other thing, of course, when you license a taxi, when you're in the trade, every 6 months you have to have a council MOT, effectively a safety check, and also a visual inspection to make sure it doesn't look like an old banger out of 1954. And I'm running out of time. The license is due for renewal at the end of this month. And I've already had to postpone the visual twice, and I've got it again next week, and hopefully I'll get it through that. But thankfully, the garage that I went to was able to do the council MOT, the safety check, so it saved me a job, which I was very pleased with, and a little bit of panic. So the only thing left to do now is the visual and obviously get back to work. Now, I noticed Harry Harlow said, "Hi, Andy, please wish Jean a happy birthday from me." I certainly will, and I do appreciate all of the comments earlier regarding my mum on that video. She'll be made up reading those. I saw a couple of comments saying, "Oh, that wasn't a surprise, it was a complete setup." There's always the naysayers, isn't there? Well, this is the truth of the matter. She knew I was coming round there. She was expecting me, but she didn't know I was going to do that. That was the surprise bit, and that look of surprise on her face and everything was completely genuine. And I thought she'd like a few birthday wishes off of the YouTube family, otherwise known as Andy's Army. Yes, we are Andy's Army here, nothing else, and she will like that. Jason Drury, hello to you. I see you in the chat, and I noted your comment the other day. You had some problems, not with yourself, with your parents, and I look forward to an update from you there. Let's just have a quick look back and say some hellos. While we're at it, everybody, if you've only just joined us, can you please hit the thumbs up button? Let's get this algorithm talking and rocking and rolling and, you know, talking about us. Weekend cannot get here quick enough. I'm with you there, Blood Nose. The trouble is I'm bloody working most of it. John Harrington, good to see you. Hey up, Alan Edge. Hope you're all right. Happy birthday, Jean Whitehead. Well, yeah, thank you for that. I think my mother's off out with a friend of hers tonight. She's got a whole weekend of it. Wanted, good woman, must be able to clean cook, so dig worms, clean fish, must have boat. Please send picture of boat. Oh, Jesus, Alan. It carries on, doesn't it? It carries on. Well, we'll talk about transport in a little while. Hi, everybody, and a happy birthday to Jean Whitehead. That's Patricia Shaw. Thank you very much. I'm sure she'll appreciate that. She's not going to be on the live stream tonight. She already said she's going out to dinner with a friend of hers, and then over the weekend she's of course going out to do some other bloody thing when I'm doing pirouettes at the M25. But there you go. Bridget is another one. Happy birthday, Jean Whitehead. Hello, Trevor, good to see you here. Where else are we? I just want to make sure I get everybody, that's all. Oh no, now it's oh yeah, I couldn't give a monkeys about that, Alan, to be honest. And I'll tell you a little thing I read earlier. Yeah, Patricia Shaw, good old Mr. Gates, and he's picked up something else, isn't he? You couldn't make it up. He's probably and Nout. Yes, it's all in the news today. Really, it is crazy, crazy, crazy world we live in. Of course, you know, I wasn't going to talk about this. Hi, Seth78, good to see you. Jerry Georgopoulos, John Harris, Christine Ayres is in the house, and we got many others. And hello to everybody. I just want to give a shout out to all the channel members as well. That's all the people in the chat with a little symbol next to them. The colour of it denotes how long they've been a channel member for. It's basically £1 a month minimum, goes in the fund, and you know it's very very appreciated, that support, and all the rest of the support you give me as well. Yes, the pox, the monkeys have struck, and we get these little dots all over our arms, don't we? Well, they're fucking great big dots, in truth. I've been following this slightly. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to go down the route which will make the censors censor me. But all I will mention is we seem to have this thing appearing in the news quite regularly, more frequently, and there's things popping up here and there and everywhere. And I saw Sajid Javid say earlier, oh yes, this is of concern, and we've just ordered more pricks to deal with it. Well, the only pricks I'm seeing, Mr. Health Secretary Extraordinaire, are the pricks within government, the WHO, and whoever else decides what the fuck's going on. Thank you very much for the £1 super chat, John Harris. I appreciate it, and all your support as well. Thank you. Yes, an entirely different narrative. You know, when we had this thing before where it's oh, you know, we were all locked down for 2 years, and now they're talking about monkeys, for fuck's sake. None of that mentioned anywhere. It's just completely different. I smell bullshittery from the highest order. I really do. And the other thing as well, I can't pull the thing up here, but if you go and have a look at metro.co.uk, there's a lovely article there to do with the Russians. And the Russians, apparently, it's all their fault because they were researching weaponizing this thing years ago. And isn't it convenient that that's there now, and then they try and blame the Russians? Oh, do fuck off. We're not falling for it anymore. It's just more media scaremongery. It really is. I'm up to here with it. Bing bang splat. How's your father? Very well, thank you. I don't know what you guys think of this. It's ridiculous. Hello, Andy the Gabby Cabby and Army Gates. Yes, Neats. Well, he got that bloody wrong, didn't he? It weren't small. It was a bloody great monkey. The mind boggles. We'll see how it goes. Jane Griffiths, I agree with you. That's more than likely the very, very large source of it. You know, we all have our individual countries, and we're all exposed to these things in our individual countries, and you know, that's the way it should be. That's the way it's always been. And when you get this mass movement of people, like thousands of dinghy divers landing on the English bloody coastline every day, then what's going to happen? These other diseases from other places? Oh, don't! It's ridiculous. But anyway, that's enough medical talk. Oh, in honour of all this as well, I want to tell you I'm drinking something different this evening. That's Sprite spelt backwards. It's Etiripse. Yeah, it's like trips with an E on the end. So let's see what this tastes like, shall we? Hello, Uncle Gary. Hello, Julie Baldwin. Good to see you all. Uncle Gary, have you spoken to my mum today? I went round and saw her for a couple of hours earlier. Chrissy Williams, good to see you. Michael Lawrence as well, good to see you too. And the old trips with an E on the end ain't too bad, I tell you. I might be a convert yet. Well, another piece of news for you all. There's been a few of you been inquiring as to the whereabouts of Factual Breakdown. Where's Factual Breakdown gone? You know, is she okay? I took it upon myself to email her the other day because I was genuinely concerned as well. And let me just find this if I can, if it allows me to load the damn thing. Come on, you stupid pile of bolts. Who's this? Right, that's the wrong inbox. I'll tell you what, with these tippy tappy things, you have to push the right things in the right order, don't you? Otherwise it doesn't behave yourself. Yes, that's the response I got from Factual Breakdown. It's literally an essay, and it's just telling me everything that's going on in the background. And as somebody just rightly pointed out, Alan Pape and Jane Griffiths, that's absolutely correct. She is helping a friend out. She's got a friend in need who's having to get out of her property. And you know, she needs an awful lot of help and assistance, and Factual Breakdown's tied up in that quite considerably. That's what a lot of that email said. And she's also worrying about where she is and what she's doing and where she's going, and the obvious things of her daughter as well. A friend with weed is a friend indeed. I love that, Cosmic Wartoad. Yes, I love the sentiment. Anyway, folks, friends, Andy's Army. This is the daily chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby. Hello to Blue Neeson, who's just joined us. If you haven't done so already, I would appreciate if you give the chat a thumbs up, because that will help the algorithm find everything around. Shut that door. Yeah, we're back to that, definitely. Just a little while yet. We'll let the light fade some more, and then we'll do that. If you haven't done so already and you've only just started watching the Gabby Cabby, then please consider a subscription to us so you get notified of everything that we do. I mean, today there's more personal videos. There was the one with my mother, which all of you saw, and commented on, said happy birthday. There was one about my car because I got it back. And then I'll be releasing another one tonight as well. We have somebody in our midst who's a very, very talented artist, and she asked me if I might exhibit some of her drawings and everything for her. Yes, I'll be doing that a bit later, and we'll be back to the content tomorrow. That will be great. Yes, Matt Wooten, that's what it's all about, pushing the right buttons in the right order. I am a little bit rusty around those edges, I have to say that. Well, cheers, everybody. I wish this was a beer, but it isn't, because I've got to go back to work tomorrow. Chrissy Williams, your mum is so glam, Andy. As my uncle would agree, do you know how long it takes her to give that in? No, let's not be nasty. It's her birthday. We'll get her tomorrow. My absolute favourite, is when she smears 6 feet of lipstick on and then goes to kiss her brother. She puckers up. He goes, "Oh, fuck off, leave me alone." It's very, very amusing. It always has been and always will be. Yes, Factual Breakdown, wishing you the best. That's nice, neat. So I'm sure she'll see it if and when she watches the catch-up. You're better off staying off of the booze. It's no good, Harry Harlow. Yes, I know, but I do like a nice drink every now and again when I can. Not yet, Julie Baldwin. I know how to solve that problem. I've just got to sit down and sort it out. All it is, what I use, it required a certain resolution of that image, and I didn't have it, so I've got to try and increase the resolution of the image that I've got to work with, and go from there. If they don't want it, I'll just use another provider. Bollocks to them, basically. Jane Griffiths, vodka and coke. Yes, that seems to be my favourite tipple lately as well. I do like a few ciders when I go to see a friend of mine. They're always quite partial. Well, going to the news, let's have a look at a couple of things. I see Sadiq Khan sorry, I hope you're not eating your dinner right now or anything like that, is charming his way around America. And I even see that the malarkist and the ginger one were trying to invite him to their place on the sneak. All lefties together. Wonderful. I wonder what they'll talk about, plot, and decide to moan about next. I mean, the mentality of these people really astounds me. It always does. But Sadiq Khan, I have a message for you. I never thought I would hear myself say this, but you win. All right? You win. I'm never going to drive a car in London ever again. That's it. Kaput. I won't go there. Now, the reason is I will not pay to drive on a road I pay my road tax for. And you appear to want to stop everybody anywhere coming into London bringing trade, tourism and money. Some people want to drive rather than catch the train, not to mention the delivery drivers in central London in the early hours of the morning. It's ridiculous. I've seen them, and having to pay for the privilege. I mean, this headline here, right? Sadiq Khan continues war on drivers as talks are on about expanding the ULEZ to all of Greater London, and those talks start today. Now, I've heard rumours of this for quite a while. Oh, but don't do it. I mean, I had a situation the other day where I went to Luton Airport, right? You imagine Luton's up there and the Dartford Tunnel's down here. Well, I come over the Dartford Tunnel and my natural track is round the M25 and up the M1. Well, what actually happened, I got over the Dartford Tunnel and a fucking great chunk of the M25 was shut. So I go down the A13 with the intention of doing this and bypassing the closure, no problem. I think you pop out somewhere near Enfield or something like that. But the A13 was shut as well. So what that had the effect of doing was forcing me around the North Circular. Now, what my worry is, do I end up in the ULEZ zone or don't I? That's very unfair to me. And I did a video on this before reporting about, you know, somebody that got done for that going down and across an area where they would have never come to anyway. And they get fined. And TfL Transport for London, don't want to know. I would say take someone to court. I really would. But here you go. Here's the crux of it. London Mayor Sadiq Khan has said he's waging war on poisonous air. Well, I can tell you how you can save a lot of it right now. Zip it. As he bids to extend the ULEZ zone across London. Mr. Khan is proposing to extend the scheme's boundary from the North and South Circular roads to the whole of Greater London from August the 29th next year. And a consultation has been launched on the plans. Drivers of vehicles which do not comply with minimum emission standards are charged a daily fee of £12.50 for entering the ULEZ. And it's a lot more than that if you forget to pay it. The Mayor's office estimated an additional 135,000 vehicles would be affected each day if this was expanded as planned. Some critics argued that the move would exacerbate financial issues already faced with the ongoing cost of living crisis. Yeah, it would. Who wants to pay £12.50 to go in there? I don't. Speaking to the PA news agency at City Hall, Mr. Khan said, I've got a war on poisonous air. This is a war on climate change. This is a war on congestion to make sure that in London, everybody can breathe clean air. We've seen the benefits of the world's first ultra-low emission zone in central London, and in London we reduced by almost a half the toxic air. He said the same progress has not been seen in outer London, most notably in areas in the boroughs of Barnet, Bromley, Croydon and Havering. And almost half of Londoners do not own a car, meaning the need to target climate issues is even more necessary. Mr. Khan's decision to tackle pollution and climate issues is also a personal one, as he spoke about his experience with asthma. I'm somebody who, as an adult, got asthma because of the poor quality of air in our city. Yes, every year more than 4,000 Londoners die prematurely because of the air. There are children with stunted lungs forever because of the poor quality. City Hall said all Londoners live in areas that breach the WHO target for particulate matter and nitrogen dioxide, with 500,000 suffering from asthma and similar numbers set to develop diseases linked to dirty air over the next 30 years. Harmful emissions could cost the NHS and social care £10 billion if no further action is taken. However, some politicians have criticised the consultation. Transport Minister Andrew Stevenson said Mr. Khan must not punish people who need to use their cars, especially at a time when people are struggling with the cost of living. Whether or not a vehicle is liable for the ULEZ charge depends on how much nitrogen dioxide it spits out the end. This damages lungs and can exacerbate existing conditions such as asthma and lung and heart disease. For diesel cars to avoid the charge, they must generally have been registered after September 2015, while most petrol models registered from 2005 are exempt. Well, yes, Mr. Khan, you want to charge the arse out of everybody coming into London. You know, whenever I've gone into London, I always end up with this metallic taste in my mouth after I leave. I don't know whether it's because I live by the sea and I go into the city, but it's always... Now that to me says dirty air. So is it actually working? Is this £12.50 charge actually working to do it? Because people still have business in London. People still need to come and supply shops and outlets in London. People like me want to take people into London to hotels, which generate money for London. You know, there's millions of pounds changing hands every day. And this guy wants to charge £12.50 to more drivers, especially those in the outer rim. I don't know what you guys think about this. I mean, I believe that there are greater problems within the London area than this. I mean, where I live in Margate, we had a high-speed link installed where you can get uptown for an hour and a half, maybe, something like that. And loads and loads and loads of Londoners are flooded down here over the years, set up homes, set up businesses, and bought their kids because it's a healthier environment to bring them up with the clean sea air. I mean, I have a customer, I'll tell you her first name, Emma, her name is. She has a young son who was born with a heart defect that needed serious operation, and she had the opportunity and moved down here with her family and a young son. I see pictures of him on the beach every day. Ideal environment, and many more Londoners are doing it. So I just don't get this whole ULEZ thing. I really don't. Anyway, let's power up the old shut that door routine, shall we, because it's getting a little bit dark. There you go. And we will stand by for Shut That Door. Listen, everybody, this is the Daily Chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby. Thank you for joining us. We've got a nice selection of people here now. If you haven't done so already, can you please hit the thumbs up button on the chat? That will allow the algorithm to do a little bit of a better job of finding us and getting the word around. I noticed actually from the YouTube analytics, which are the statistics that I look at to see how the channel's doing, it's telling me that more of my videos are being picked up by the algorithm on recommended. You know, when you watch a video and you have down the side other things you can watch. Apparently, according to YouTube, my boat race is appearing on there a lot more than it used to, so I'm very pleased with that. If you have just started watching the Gabby Cabby, please consider subscribing as well. You can do that. I think the button's under there somewhere. Hit subscribe, completely free to do, and hit the notification bell as well. Somebody mentioned earlier about t-shirts. We got merch on there. You can find that in the description, and also we're on other social media outlets as well, where you can come and give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and all the rest, and share any videos you happen to agree with, or just share the hell out of them anyway. Let's increase the reach. Let's increase the influence of Andy's army. Isn't that something? And I appreciate all of your support very much indeed. Right, now, who are we going to pick on next? Let's go with Diane Abacus, shall we? Our friend Diane Abbott. It appears that she wants to give Boris an overhaul. I bet that's the best offer he's had since Carrie offered. Mind your manners, Andy. Mind your manners. This is very sensitive subjects. This is basically this woman, Diane Abbott. We all know and love her, and 2 makes 6.25, of course. Said Keir of Starmer, Mr. Beer himself, needs to carefully consider his position if he's caught out with regard to Partygate and Beergate and any other gate you care to mention, even the one in the back garden of Downing Street, maybe. I don't know, but she's on the news again today. I mean, look at this woman, right? There she is, sat there all pert and posed, ready to be asked very difficult questions. Isn't that wonderful? Well, here we go. Labour MP Diane Abbott said the Prime Minister is ridiculous. Yes, Diane. After it was announced the Prime Minister would not be receiving any more Partygate fines. I think he only got 1 or 2, didn't he? Oh, I don't give 2 fucks about that anymore. Boris Johnson has overhauled his Downing Street operation following the conclusion of the Metropolitan Police inquiry. The Prime Minister said he was very grateful for the Metropolitan Police's investigation, which concluded with 126 fines for lockdown breaches in Downing Street and Whitehall. There were demands for answers. There always is, over how Mr. Johnson escaped with just 1 fixed penalty notice, despite being believed to have been present at multiple rule-breaking events. In whose opinion? And what really went on? Potentially damaging further details. Sounds like something out of Cluedo, doesn't it? Sources close to the investigation expect it will be published early next week, with individuals whose involvement will be mentioned to be contacted over the weekend. Now, I thought originally this police investigation was just a thing to give them more time to fuck around with this report. That's what I think. Mr. Johnson declined to apologise again for the rule breaking in number 10 during a visit to Hilltop Honey's factory. Instead, he said, "I'm very grateful to the Met Police for the work. I'm thankful for everything they've done." Yes, I bet you are. We just need to wait for Sue Gray's report to point fingers and keep fingers crossed, and I'll be saying more on this next week. But Miss Abbott reacted with fury. Could you imagine a furious Diane? And she wrote, "Ridiculous that Boris Johnson is talking about overhauling 10 Downing Street in response to 126 fines for breaking the old kung flu regulations. You know, the ones where people got fined thousands and this lot were, The real overhaul Downing Street needs is getting rid of Boris himself." Thank you for your pearls of wisdom, Diane. Now, replace him with what exactly? You? Beer of Starmer? You know, our system of government is really a shower of shite. I'm sorry, but that's the way I see it, and I'm sure many of you do as well. It's completely ridiculous now. It really is. Right, I want to just go to the chat and see what people have got to say, and then we'll have a look at something else, shall we? Oh yeah, vodka and Coke. That's very tempting. Andy, you did an Eric Morecambe. I'm pressing the right buttons, but not necessarily in the right order. Yeah, sorry about that. Andy, did you watch the film Fury? I can't remember. Hi from Chester. How are you, Buttons? Cash and Harry. Yeah, I love that, Neats. Tippy Tappy Man. Andy, hello to you. How the hell does Khan get re-elected? I have no idea, Jerry. I really don't. I just finished Malarkist and her orangutan. What is that, a ginger one? Sweden wants to join NATO, but Greta Thunberg's being quiet. Yes, Cosmic. I wonder how that will tip things over there. I used to drive an 80-seater coach in London, and it was a nightmare every day. That's John Herrick. I don't envy you, John. I really couldn't do it. The Poison Dwarf. Other stouts are available to provide balance. That's Stink Pooter. Declan Toomey, CEC, not yet. Cosmic War Toad, some people should never be allowed a motorbike, let alone a license. I saw somebody doing a wheelie with one on the road yesterday. A law unto themselves. Khan is a pawn. Yes, quite possibly Kirky, but we'll see. We'll see. Think Tesco have the exclusive at the start in Northern Ireland. Gonna go tomorrow and see if they have any to try. Matt, Andy, if you'd stayed on the M1 slightly longer, could have come round and I'd give you a cuppa. I'm from Bedford. Oh right, that's only just up the road then, isn't it? My old man was born in Bedford. He was only there for about the first 4 years of his life and ended up down this neck of the woods. But yeah, he took me up there to show me where he did live for a time. Send him to China or India. Yes, Alan. Jerry, where is the science to back Khan's plans? That's what it's all about, isn't it? The science, where is it? Until I see the science, I expect money grabbing. I really do. Oh, it's good stuff, that. Hello, Jodie Pitt. Good to see you. Bluetooth buds are dangerous, Tony says. When did science have anything to do with politics? Kirky says it never has it really? On your bike, Sadiq Khan, Jodie Pitt says. That's a polite version of fuck right off. I like that. Look up the YouTube, the Guinness Guru. Pretty funny channel. Okay. This bloody thing that keeps zooming me in and out. I've got anxiety thanks to crazy people living opposite me. I mean, who fries food at 1 a.m. and sets the fire alarms off? Mental. It's the air full of compounds, chemtrails. Yeah, you've all got your own opinions on this, haven't you? It's utter bullshit. It really is. 73 watching, 41 likes. Well, we're up to nearly 50 now. That's not bad. Chrissy Williams, I'm from London, but lived in Folkestone for 30 years. Folkestone is full of Londoners, an hour on the high speed to St. Pank. Yeah, there you go. Case in point, we have that here as well. I have tried complaining to the letting agents and council. They're not interested. I'll have to look at what you're saying about that, Alan. I used to live next to a farmer's field years ago, 4 a.m. He'd wake me up ploughing, total nightmare. But I get that he has to do it or we all starve. Do you remember the TV show called The Magic Roundabout? Certainly do, John Harris. Certainly do. That's fine, them spreading out, Andy, but what about areas that are flooded by people buying a property to use 6 weeks a year and pushing locals out? Yes, Bridget, I totally agree with that. I mean, we've got this, I suppose you could call it its own pandemic, could you, of people buying second homes and pushing the prices up everywhere. That's not on. I mean, if you genuinely want to move, then move. Don't take the piss. And that happens a lot. Diane is an easy target because insert Mimi. That's Kirky Bailey, absolutely. Not sure if I'll be here tomorrow, Andy. It's a funeral. Fair dues, Julie. Family first, every time. Paper straw in plastic wrap. The Green Movement answer to the plastic straw. Used more in raping the paper stuff. I'll tell you what, when they started using paper straws, I stopped using straws. It just makes all the drink taste funny. Try a high power water pistol. Yeah, that'll work. God, they got some poke on them, haven't they now? When are we going to get to see the Sue report? Is that the actual version or the redacted version, I wonder? The heavily redacted version. Have you noticed these YouTube channels are overtaking the mainstream news channels? John, I saw a funny thing the other day. They were complaining about Piers Morgan and how he's not getting a lot of footfall. I think one night he only had about 40,000 watching him, something like that. Oh, 1 second. Shut that door. Yeah, he had 40,000 watching him one night. Dream numbers for the average YouTuber. And then I looked at my figures for the previous 28 days, and there were a lot more than 40,000. And that just showed me that more and more people are coming over to this new way of doing things, because we don't have that bias agenda run. We have to report this in this way and try and influence you kind of thing that the media has. We're just ordinary people who want to tell the truth and give an opinion. You know who there is. There's me, there's Alex, Katie, tons and tons and tons. Paz, I never remember the numbers, but he's bloody good and a clever bloke. He just says it how it is. He said something about the whole Iranian thing the other day with the lady that was apparently over there for all those years. Something doesn't quite smell right, and the way he put it, I tend to agree with him. It's all about people waking up. I wish more people would watch this platform, really, but the problem is when you have platforms run by, well, left-leaning people, should we say, the narrative can get a little bit stunted. They still want to steer you down a particular path, which isn't necessarily always truth, but it's their truth, but not truth. But let's have a look. Anne-Marie Waters is my choice for government, Andy. Oh God, we got a dinghy diver in the house. Hi. He used to be Gary the dinghy diver, but I think he's changed his name. Chrissy Williams, dinghy diver. Yes, exactly. He's here. God help us. And he's hiding in Chrissy's basement today. Isn't that wonderful? Paul Crombie, I'm in two minds about Diane Abbott. Not sure if she's a clever or a bit thick, but I do think that Starmer needs to rearrange an entirely new Labour cabinet. Yes. I often wonder about that sometimes. I mean, she's the butt of everybody's jokes, but how has she been an MP for 40 years? Mind you, that's not really a qualification, me saying that, is it? If there's one thing I can't stand, Andy, it's crazy people. Yeah, Jodie, I kind of get you there. Nigel, fashionably late. Where else are we? Padded cell material, Alan. Steve H. Hi everyone. Yes, we've all got comments. I like it. Yeah, does anyone shop in Sainsbury's? Give me a 1 if you shop in Sainsbury's. Let's see your shopping habits. Or a 2 if you think, sod that, it's too expensive. Sod that, it's too expensive. Yeah, I say that to my wife every time she comes home with a Sainsbury's bag, I tell you. Number 10 have benched Kay Burley on Sky. Isn't that wonderful? She'd love it. Well, the reason I ask is I saw this earlier. Several people collapse at Sainsbury's, sparking an evacuation of the supermarket. A Sainsbury's store in the West Midlands has been evacuated amid reports of people collapsing. 7 people are being treated for breathing problems by paramedics at the scene in Longbridge. There's a big emergency response to the incident, which West Midlands Fire Service categorised as hazardous substances on their website. Hazardous substances. Okay. One onlooker said the police have said there's been an incident involving some sort of gas. Oh, terribly sorry. People were on the floor gasping for air after collapsing. I've never seen anything like it. There's emergency services everywhere. Students from City College have been evacuated too, and a couple of other shops, I think. I hear somebody had let something off in the store, but police couldn't confirm that to me. Locals have been urged to avoid the area as police investigate the circumstances. A statement from West Midlands Ambulance Service said one patient has since been conveyed to hospital as a precaution. A spokesman from West Midlands Police said, we're currently dealing with an incident at Sainsbury's in Longbridge Lane, Longbridge. We were alerted about 10 a.m. to reports that 6 people were suffering breathing problems. Officers attended and the store had been evacuated, and people are also being cleared from other buildings in the area. The 6 patients are being treated at the scene by paramedics. We've got specialist officers working with the colleagues to establish exactly what happened. Somebody let something off and then people can't breathe. Yeah, okay. Cordon's been put in place and people are told to stay away. A West Midlands Fire Service spokesman said shortly before 10 a.m. on Friday the 20th of May, we were alerted to an incident at Sainsbury's on the High Street, and it's completely shut off by the looks of it. A number of people have reported feeling unwell with apparent breathing difficulties. 2 fire engines and one of our 4x4 brigade response vehicles responded with a number of officers from the police and ambulance services. Longbridge Shopping posted on Facebook to make customers aware the main high street off Longbridge Lane is closed. Entry and exit to Longbridge is via Dalmoor Road. I wonder what that was all about. But that does sound bad, doesn't it? Going to get your eggs and a loaf of bread, and that happens. Yeah, I hope whoever's affected is all right, of course, and I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it. Who we got? Food is better. Waitrose too. Yeah, Waitrose is too expensive. You'll pay a bloody week's salary for a loaf of bread. Probably collapsed when they saw the prices of the food. Yeah, you're right, nuclear war boy. A stink bomb attack. You ever let one of them off in the school there? Oh God, we did a few times. Due to faulty fridges, they were leaking out HFC. Well, that makes sense. Very much. Handy Andy, haven't got long, sorry, but whilst I'm here, I can give you a like. Thank you, Handy Andy. I appreciate that. Good of you to show your support there. Talking one hell of a long time. Yeah, that's a lot of outgassing, isn't it? Plastic Police were recruiting today. We started going to Rogers Food Warehouse in Manchester. They sell in bulk for next to nothing. Okay. I mean, we have Costco down here, which is similar for that. He'd be disgusted at how this country has become. Don't shop in Sainsbury's. It's not the same since 2019. No deli counter or butchers. Oh, yeah, they used to be delicious, didn't they? I know what you mean there. Community shop open, 20p, veg, bread, fruit, really cheap, brilliant. That's Jane Griffiths. I think there's going to be more people relying on those all over the place, isn't there? I mean, there's a guy locally to me called Chris, and what he does, he buys nearly, well, it's past its best before, and he buys up stuff in bulk, and he sells it to people very, very cheap, you know, to people who can't afford it. It's you know, it's a great thing he does. I mean, I remember at Christmas time, he absolutely filled his back of his lorry, Bedford, whatever you want to call it, with food. There was all sorts of things, crisps, nuts, cakes, everything. And he was giving it away. And I went up there with a box thing from my friend David, and got him a food parcel and got it down there. That was wonderful. Jerry Georgopoulos, Andy, what makes your channel special? Your acknowledgement of viewers on your channel. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. Well, at the end of the day, I can sit here and talk, but it's you that really make it, because you kind of come on and talk to each other, and you create what we have here, and it's something very special in my opinion, and I appreciate you all too. This is the Daily Chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby, everybody. If you haven't done so already, can you please do that? Hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate that and the support you give, and the closer we get to 100, the more the algorithm will be tickled. If you haven't done so already as well, and you're new to watching, please subscribe to the channel. Appreciate that. And also go on social media if you're on there. Look up the Gabby Cabby there too, and you can find us here, there and everywhere. And I thank you all for your support, the channel members and everybody else. Lastly, just to finish up, who's a Tom Cruise fan? Let's talk about Tom Cruise. Do you like him or do you not like him? And Blood knows, you're right, shut that door. Let's have a 1 if you like Tom Cruise. Let's have a 2 if you don't like him. Let's see what we've got. Oh, you're still talking about food, and I'm talking about Tom Cruise. A couple of people don't like him. Sort of like him, don't like him, like him. Long as the question is regarding him as an actor, well, pretty much, yes. Like him. Tom Cruise is a pickhead. Well, most of them probably are, aren't they? No, and he's first class jerk. Weight tries for 347. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I've watched his films over the years. I really have. And the subject matter of his films, I absolutely love some of them. The Colour of Money with Paul Newman, one of my all-time favourites, and of course Top Gun, back in 1986, 36 years ago. And I don't know if there's any aviation enthusiasts in the house, but I've looked at the trailers for the latest Top Gun movie, and my God, it's tickling my aviation fancy something chronic, and I will be down that cinema the first opportunity I get. I don't know if anybody else is planning on going and seeing it, but absolutely brilliant looking film. And I saw one of the behind the scenes things, and it looked like they all worked so incredibly hard to bring it to life, and it looks fantastic. A lot of the footage and everything of it. I think it's due out on the 27th. The F-14s have been retired and replaced by the F-18s now. Yeah, in the new film, there's actually footage of an F-14 flying, and you're dead right. There isn't any that fly anymore. So that's a bit of CGI. So I do wonder what's going on there. But it is the F-18s, really. Top Gun's one of my favourite. Not sure I want to see the remake. It'll ruin it. Some of the reviews I'm seeing are pretty good, to be honest. Pretty good indeed. And his money, he's a strange person for sure. Cruise, yeah, you're all talking about the personal side, and I know very much what you're talking about, but I'm just referring to the movie and my love of planes, and I shall certainly be going to see it. I can't wait, actually. And there's a friend of mine as well, Kevin, his name is. He's aviation mad, just like me. So I shall go along and watch that. That'll be wonderful. Yeah, I agree, Blood Nose there. War of the Worlds. They didn't do a good job of remaking that. They featured in the final countdown, Andy. Yes, I remember that film. Jody, that was with Kirk Douglas, wasn't it, as the captain of the aircraft carrier that went back in time. Yeah, Julie Keys. Yeah, Cocktail. That's another film. I mean, my wife likes Cocktail very much. I must admit, I liked it with Brian. Oh God, what's his name? Brian. What's his last name? The actor. And I loved all the bottle flipping and all the rest of it. Now Robert Redford, that's the one. Like, my mother loved Robert Redford for years. She really did. Enjoy it, Andy. First one was great. Captain Kirk was the best captain. We don't get Paramount Plus here at the moment. I mean, talking about Star Trek, Paramount Plus comes over here in June, but this Strange New Worlds, the new Star Trek series, does look good. They're going back to episodic television instead of lefty orientated rubbish that we've had to put up with for quite a long time. I've seen a couple of clips, and what I see I like, so we'll see how that goes, but it certainly looks impressive. Strange New Worlds is really good, Andy, says 78. Yeah, I mean, Anson Mount as Captain Pike came into Discovery in season 2, didn't he? And I think he was a very, very popular draw. Brian Brown, that's it. Brian Brown, the actor in Cocktail. I thought he was great. I saw Dick Van Dyke is still alive, 96, and spotted today out in LA. Amazing. Chitty chitty bang bang. Laugh out. Yeah, exactly. He's I saw a thing where he was in a diner. I'm not sure whether it was a setup or not, but he was there with three other blokes, and he suddenly broke into Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Just so absolutely wonderful. Such a talented guy, Dick Van Dyke. Love him. Anyway, folks, I'm going to wrap it up for the evening. We're just after 9:30, and I'm going to go indoors and do some odds and sods. To do with the airport business. I'm so glad I've got the bus back. Look, it's here in all its glory, and it'll be back on its first job tomorrow, off up to Gatwick Airport. So fingers crossed, on a run it'll be okay, and it needs a bloody good clean. It's covered in shit, but there you go. Yes, if you haven't done so already, please give this a thumbs up. Give the chat a thumbs up before you go. Get the old algorithm talking. We're on 66 at the moment, so let's try and push it up to 70 before I stop talking. That'll be a good number. So 4 more, please. If you haven't done so already as well, you've only just started watching us, please consider subscribing as well to Andy the Gabby Cabby. And also you can find us on social media and other places too. And I am working on Andy's Army things. Has been requested by a few of you, and I've just got a few bugs that I've got to iron out and get that all tickety-boo and sorted. There'll be one more video coming out in a little while, just something for one of the subscribers that I said I would do for them, so watch out for that. And then tomorrow I'll try and get a little bit more news content out for you during the course of the day, and of course another live stream in the evening. This is Andy the Gabby Cabby. This is Andy's Army, and for now I bid you toodaloo.